It made a mistake. What the hell? Hormozi, you're better than this. So I was using the Hormozi ACQ AI to help with my company's price raise. And we missed a beat. We missed a forecast of an emergency stop loss. So we knew how long our test was going to last for our price raise. That was about 40 calls, hoping for 20 closes. But close rates tanked. Our close rate went from 57% down to 9%. Now this was with only 11 sales calls having been taken and 1 closed. And the subjectivity of the calls, i.e. what they felt like, they felt really good, but people still weren't closing, still weren't paying. So I then went back to it and was saying, hey, my sales team are actually commission only. This test is at the cost of their earning potential, and I'm scared that they're going to lose morale and quit based on that. It then came around and said, no, you're totally right. If it's in the ballpark, you need to run the test out. But if it's catastrophically failing, you stop as soon as possible. It's like the hire slow, fire fast mentality. Right, if someone comes on and you see an immediate red flag, you bin them straight away. You don't hesitate, you don't give them second chances. Within their first X period, 1 chance, that's it. If anything, they're treading on glass at the start to make sure that you didn't make a mistake. So, what are we doing from here? Our price raise was up from, well, originally £25 a week, up to £40 a week. Now we're going to drop to £29 a week, which is still a 16% increase from our previous baseline, which is in line with what the AI suggested for us of a 10 to 15% price raise, because that shouldn't materially affect close rates. We've got a new metric, a new test criteria, which is going to be 2 weeks of sales calls, hopefully at least 20 calls taken, but we're hoping for 30. And then if we have a close rate, an average close rate above 47%, then we make more gross profit in the first 6 weeks than we did previously, which makes this a massive success. That also then doesn't take into account the extra like 33% profit or so that we end up with the lifetime of a customer, which is pretty nuts. So we've then calculated outside of using the AI that if we drop to 35% close rate rather than 40, we are now essentially spending an extra £20 to acquire a customer than we previously were, but for a plus net of 80. So plus 100, net of 80 increase across their lifetime. Now, because we are cash flow positive month to month, this is about the limit where I think it's smart. If it materially affects close rates below that, then we should reset back to our previous price point and increase friction, increase qualification so that our close rates and stuff are significantly higher, and focus on that side of things so that we are maximizing our leverage and scaling the business per unit time rather than just revenue. So that way the revenue actually per unit time will increase as well, but the profit per customer won't change, but the number of customers per unit time will go up. So that would then be the focus, and then once close rates go up, we would then price raise again to bring them back down to here, and it's basically a tit for tat between those two things until you find a nice equilibrium. Hormozi, I forgive you. You've done so much for our business so far, and I'm super glad that I was able to actually ask the AI for its thoughts on this, because I initially wanted to stick to that 4-week test period. My partner slash COO, CEO, founder of the company, came to me and said, we need to end the price test. It has failed. And I was like, no, we haven't. An N of 11 is not good enough for us to draw any scientific conclusions. Considering Millie and I come from a science background, a sample size of 10 means very little. But that being said, our sales cycle is rather consistent, and so it's obvious enough and a significant drop that something is up. And at the risk of damaging our sales team, I was like saying, okay, do you know what, I will go with you no matter what, and we will change this, which hurt my ego. I really didn't like it. I was upset with myself, and I took it on the chest as my fault for not having that communication clearly enough to start with. So yes, we did it from a place of emotion where we set a stop loss. I've even made a video about it. I made a document to track it so that I couldn't go and change it later. But the thing I forgot to do was to check with my other concerned parties who have a say in this sort of thing as to, is this the right place for a stop loss? Do we agree on this? But with new information that wasn't considered previously, tests have to change, and that's okay. And if you're not in a space, if you don't have enough humility to accept that you're wrong, I was wrong, hands up, like, you're just going to shoot yourself in the foot more than you need to. So there we go, that's the update. I will let you know, hopefully this time next week, how this new price raise has gone. And PS, we're not wasting the leads, we're not wasting the sales calls that we had last week. We've actually just sent them an update, a WhatsApp saying, hey, my boss has just told me that we're actually running a promo this week. Not sure how long it's going to last, but I know we were saying £40 a session, it's now 29. Your payment link's been updated. If you want to take advantage of it, crack on. Don't know how that's going to turn out, but I hope we will recoup some of that potential revenue that we missed during the test. There we go. Sick business update, I think. It's going to be a fun one to look back on in a few years. If you've got any questions, put a message down below. Have a good one. Peace.